Today could be a massive day in this Viborg save. We've got a chance to reach our first domestic cup final, an opportunity to edge closer to Europe, and a chance to become favourites to wrap up 5th place in the league, and with it an extra 50 grand of prize money. Can we secure the financial future, and can we make history? Let's go and find out. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 16 of this FM22 rebuilding stint from Viborg with me, Daniel. It's our second club in Scandinavia after succeeding in Sweden with Helsingborg, and we are back today for a big crunch match between 5th and 6th in the Danish Superliga. Not that important in the grand scheme of things, other than jostling for position, but the financial rewards, an extra 60 odd grand of prize money, make a real difference in the situation we're in. We then face Randers in the second leg of the Danish Cup semi-final. We are 0-0 after the first leg. In fact, we've had back-to-back draws against Randers in the last week. And if we can sneak to the final, we'll likely play Nordsjaelland again. So if you're looking forward to finding out if we can do it and how much we can secure our future here, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. If you didn't see yesterday's Hemel episode, please do give it a go in the eye above. It was absolutely chaotic. And of course tomorrow we'll have a return of the top threes and a brand new experiment starting. You can find all those playlists in the eye above and all the other key links in the description below. Finally, you can support the show as a channel member by clicking the join button down below, or alternatively, there's links to the Patreon and Twitch in the description. But let's get straight into this. Thank you as always for coming along, because this might be the biggest episode we've had with Viborg yet. Let's be honest, the second tier was pretty comfortable. This has been far from it. We've edged into the top half, and now we've edged above Nordsjaelland, because we've actually become a very good team at home, and even when resting players, we've gone to that slightly more defensive style, and as unexciting and uninspiring as it is to watch, it's become very, very effective. So let's have a look at the schedule to see what's been going on. You were with me as we got battered away at Randers, and I made the decision after that game. I said, when we're playing against the top sides, Copenhagen, Randers away, even Brøndby as well, we're going to go to the slightly more cautious setup, I guess you would call it. It's not defensive as such, but we wanted to get more people in support duties, more people helping out the defence when we haven't got the ball, which of course happens more often in those games, because then we can avoid the run that we had back here where we were playing all the top half sides and the result we had at Randers in the last episode. And it's worked, to be fair. We played Brøndby straight after, did just that. 3-0 on the counter-attack, we were brilliant. Karstrup got the first, Palmer got the third, an own goal was sandwiched in between. It should be said though, that our best 2 players that game were still Behrens and Anyembi. I think that's a fair point. Anyembi delivered a couple of assists but was really solid defensively, and Behrens made a string of brilliant saves. Against AGF, we won by 2-0. We absolutely flew out the traps here. Rothman and Harboat getting the goals in the first 20 minutes, and after that we managed the game really well. A 2-1 defeat away at Copenhagen, but we gave as good as we got. And if you look at the lineup, we were really struggling for players in this game. Of course, you've got the 3 loanies that can't play, but then add to that, we had a couple of injuries at the back. Hayden Carter unavailable yet again. Tranberg wasn't available from the start, but we still managed to put up a fight. And in the end, Joachim Rothman's goal, not quite enough, but we really did ourselves proud in that one. A 1-1 draw followed against Randers, which we rotated heavily ahead of the cup match. Rasmus Blaham got us out the traps in style with a 4th minute goal. We then had one ruled out a minute later from Karstrup before Anders Nielsen, the man who got the hat-trick in the last episode, did the job equalising for them again. But really good result, that one. Then a 0-0 draw against the same opponents in the first leg of the Danish Cup semi-final. And in a return leg in midweek after this Nordsjaelland game, I'm really hopeful we can get to the final. What it does mean is in this big crunch match today, as we play Nordsjaelland, the same opponents we'll have on the final day, we've had to rotate. We've had to gamble because, yes, it's 50 or 60 grand, but it leaves us in a European playoff that is unpredictable and against at least 1 or 2 very good sides. If we can get to the Danish Cup final, we might even be favourites. We'll certainly be level pegging and a 50-50 chance. And if we can get through that and into the Europa Conference, the money can really start spinning. So let's get through to the fixtures. Let's see what players we're going to be coming up against, and let's see what 11 we can put together. You can see the assistants recommending 8 changes, which probably tells you how weak I've gone. So first things first, Costa Manev just returning from a long-term injury, I've chucked him in. The same for Carter. In midfield, we've gone weak. At the back, we've brought Molgaard up to the first team, who has been doing well in the under-18s. He's not ready to be playing regularly, but he's now made 5 appearances and will be involved a lot more. He's starting at centre-half, and it's probably not an ideal time for it, but when is, quite frankly, when you're in this position. It is a team with a very young feel to it as well. Just checking, Toxvard is one of 5 teenagers in this side. Lerche in goal, Molgaard at the back, Toxvard in the middle, Thorson on the right, Blaham up front. It's basically the spine of the team as well. We're reliant on a very ageing Gröning, a centre-half Carlson in a holding role, and 2 experienced defenders who aren't fit. And Yemby isn't going to do more than an hour, and neither's Karstrup. Neither's Toxvard. We need them all for midweek. So our 11 in full is Lerche in goal, and Yemby and Manev the fullbacks with Molgaard and Carter as centre-half. Carlson, Toxvard and Gröning the midfield 3. Thorson, Karstrup and Blaham the front 3. If we look on the bench, I've basically gone mix and match. Half of them will come off at the halfway mark and the other half will come on. So we'll probably see the likes of Rothman, Witt and Tramberg for half an hour, but I wouldn't like them to play more than that. Into the first game we go, 5th v 6th, and in any other circumstance this would be a massive game. But I've got one eye on the cup, and given the first leg, I don't think you can blame me. So given that we're playing on paper a slightly weaker opponent today, I am going to go for our normal tactic to start. But if we get one up and we're maybe edgy towards the end, I'm not going to be afraid to drop back. Because while it basically evaporates our goal threat instantly, it stops us conceding too. And if that circumstance arises, I'll go for it. For now though, we're into the first half against Nordsjaelland. It's basically the battle for 5th place. And of course with that, I think comes away advantage in the second leg of the European playoff. As Chandler gets himself down the right instantly, Carter heads away. Not worried about the quality at the back, but the lack of fitness is a big issue. As Nordsjaelland to the edge, Devlin into Banza. Somehow misses, hits the post and it bounces clear. As Manev brings it out, we get away with one. First 3 minutes and we should be behind. As we're back with 7 minutes on the clock almost. Lerche's got the ball in his own area. Under no pressure goes long. Gröning loses out in the air. They're first to everything at the moment. As Silva finds Roberts. Nygren's in behind Carter. A fully fit Carter probably gets there. And he definitely gets to the rebound first. Nygren puts it in. I'm already regretting the tactical setup. And at 1-0 down after 8 minutes, it might pay off. But if we don't win the cup semi-final and we lose this, it's going to be a very tough day to take. Well, coming up to half-time, we have grown into the game a bit, but I guess the one positive I can take is the players coming off the bench are likely stronger. Can we equalise from nowhere though? Carlson with a free kick. Oh, it's a beauty. In off the underside of the bar from absolutely nothing. We do not deserve it. Nordsjaelland have dominated this game, but it's 1-1 at the break, and that is frankly all I care about. What a moment that is. Let's get the lads to prove a point. It can't be any worse than they were in the first half. We'll give it a maximum of 10 minutes and then the changes will be rung. As we've got a corner kick with Karstrup. 4 gone in the second half. Headed away. Roberts will chase it. Gröning makes the challenge, but look how far off he is physically. Got caught. Had a 10-yard advantage there and he can't get back either. Roberts down the right wing. Goes back to Sané. Held up for Abu Francis. And Nygren the scorer into Banza. Puts it over the bar. Oh, what do we do? We've got to think about fitness, but it means that the weakest players stay on. But can we get ahead? That will make the decision for us as Gröning holds it up for Manev. On the left-hand side, releases Karstrup. Back to Manev again. Good delivery. Headed away as far as Carlson. Finds Toxvard. That's a good effort. Just wide of the post. He'll be coming off shortly. We need him in midweek. But we are starting to get the momentum in this match. As Karstrup goes back to the keeper. Lerche has possession. The defence has struggled a bit, to be honest, but they're not fit. We've mentioned it before. And Yemby picks the ball up on the right to Toxvard, though. Inside to Blaham. We've had some magic from him recently, but he loses possession there. And Silva gets it away to Roberts. Back to Devlin. Switches to Gravillion. Finds his centre-half partner, Nygren, who's dropped in now. Abu Francis goes long. Manev will chase. Oh, it's awful. He's lost out there so easily. And they hit the post again. Is that 3 times now they've hit the woodwork? I don't know how we've survived it. 2.5 expected goals, and we're going to have to make changes. Right, all 5 substitutions being made at once. We're making 4 with the mindset of focusing on midweek, and we're making 1 with the intent of winning the game. So Carter goes out to right back, and Yembi's rested, Tranberg's on. Larriton, straight swap for Manev. He had to come off, he could only do an hour. In midfield, we brought on Vit for Toxvard and dropped him to a support duty. We've dropped the 2 wingers to a support duty too. Beck coming on for Karstrup. And then Blaham up front, not had his best game. He's replaced by Rothman, who can go and be the match winner. Half an hour shouldn't ruin him too much, as long as he doesn't get injured. Now, the changes haven't yet been made, and we all know what happens when changes are pending and you've got a highlight. Hopefully it's a goal at our end. It might be even better. That's a second yellow card. Thorson does brilliantly to entice the challenge. And now we've got a real chance to chase this game. We're going to go positive in a moment. We're going to try and get on this front foot. And we're going to encourage the lads, because this now becomes a big chance to win. But we could also throw it on the counter as Sane goes back inside to Gravillan. Sane again. Do not throw this away against 10 men. Nygren turns. Finds Devlin. Into the sub-centre forward. Devlin up to Francis. Oh, you idiots. 11v10 and you've managed to bottle it. That is embarrassing. We've got almost our first team on now. We've brought on so many strong players. And we've managed to do that. I'm going to have to chase the game. We're going to go attacking. We're going to push these lads forward. But there is absolutely nothing you can do when you're thinking about midweek and then you throw it away against 10. We deserve to fall to 6th in the league. We've seen our limitations again. Once you get past that first 11 and you've got 6 or 7 changes, we're not strong enough. Hopefully, though, it pays off. If we beat Randers in midweek, all is forgiven. See you in a minute. We're back for fitness test time, and on reflection, maybe Saturday was my fault or Sunday for trying to chase the game against 10 men rather than just sticking to our plan with a young team, quite fragile, quite inexperienced, and it proved so. Today, we've got everyone we could possibly have fit. Costa Manev is miles off, but we knew that was the risk when we played him at the weekend. So let's see who we can put out against Randers. It will be a repeat against Nordsjaelland in the final if we get there. They're 3-0 up already. So let's make the changes the assistant recommends and then tweak it to pick our final 11. We are as strong as we can be today with a big decision at centre-half. An unfit Carter, a tried and trusted Carlson, or Tranberg, who's the best on paper. So we've gone for Tranberg. He started the first leg, and then after 70 we brought Carter on. Probably the same will happen today. But if we have a look at our 11, it's Behrens in goal, and Yembi and Larriton are fullbacks with Jensen and Tranberg centre-half. Vit, Harbo and Toxvard the midfield 3. Palmer, Beck and Rothman the front 3. Youngster Mulgard and injured Manev is out on the squad. Everyone else is there, so let's hope they can get a result. This is huge for Viborg Football Club. It is 9 changes for us from the weekend against John Arne Riisa's men. Because they're in a title race, they've only made 3. And crucially, they've taken out Anders Nilsson, who scored 4 in his last 2 against us in the league. So I'm hoping that we've got the physical advantage here. Let's get through the dressing room. Let's get the lads to prove a point. And let's get into the first half. We've got to be front-footed here without being reckless. Because this side, they should tire. And if we can put them under pressure, let's see exactly what position they're in actually. If we get the Randers stats up, there's a few tired legs there. By the second half, if we can get them under pressure, this could really pay off. As it's a free kick on the right-hand side. Dangerous position for Larriton. Into Victor Tranberg. The man who we had to ache and decide whether we were going to play today. It's an absolutely brilliant decision now, isn't it? Carlson sitting on the bench applauding. Carter sitting on the bench applauding. And Tranberg, at the moment, is the Viborg hero as Graves picks it up on halfway. I love cup competitions. Give me a trophy over a European place any day. And as it happens, it's our most likely chance of one here. As Kammerbauer delivers from the right. Oh, what a save, Behrens, but the rebound's in. We needed a bit of help with offside there. I thought he'd produce the heroics. It was a wonderful save. But Anyembi's made the mistake. 1-1, Randers back on terms. Didn't have that lead for long, did we? Well, we get to half-time, having had a number of shots, but no further highlights or really good chances. Neither of us have an expected goal of 1, so we can't be too frustrated with the scoreline. But this is where it should pay off. A very tired team up against us. Just let the physical advantage count. They've got knackered players out there. Yes, their subs bench is fairly fit. Yes, Anders Nielsen is our bogeyman, but surely if any day's going to be ours, it's this one. I don't know whether to go more aggressive. I'm not going to at the minute. I am going to make some changes though, just past the hour mark. And Yemby will be replaced by Carter at right back. Beck will be replaced by Karstrup on the left wing. And we're going to keep encouraging them, keep pushing them forwards, because there's been no shots in this second half. It's actually been an abysmal game. Just over 10 to go. Do we stick or twist? I mean, we twisted last game and we ended up getting done, so I've got to be very careful. I'm going to take David Palmer off for Daniel Thorson. I'm also going to take off Vit for Gröning, which I understand is a risk. Oh, it's the Cup. We've only got 3 subs. I can't make it then, I don't think. I'm going to leave it for now. Palmer on for Thorson. Can the youngster become a very big hero? There's 5 minutes remaining. We're still encouraging them. We're still pushing them forwards. And as we approach 3 minutes of stoppage time, we've got the ball at the back with Tranberg. Just don't make a silly mistake now. Jensen finds Larriton on the left. Up to Karstrup. There's going to be drama, isn't there? Which end is it going to be? Larriton finds Jensen. Out to Larriton again. Keeping the ball well. Lots of composure. Karstrup on the left. Finds Larriton. Cutting inside this time to Harbo. Beaten to it on the slide challenge. And Berg Johnson gets it away. Tiedemann twists centre half Graves. And here are Randers looking very comfortable at the back, but the long ball forward is poor. Carter intercepts. Through ball towards Harbo. He's unmarked on the edge. That is a fabulous strike from Bisgaard Harbo. The youngster from Copenhagen has scored so many important goals over the last 2 years. But none, I say none, are more important than that. Harbo makes it 2-1 in the 91st minute. And with it, Viborg go to the Danish Cup final. No prizes for guessing what we'll be showing next time. And after the disappointment of what happened in the weekend's league game, it's worth it. Tell me it's not worth it now. Not a lot of prize money for this, but the European place, if we can win it, will be absolutely everything. So we're going to praise Harbo for his performance. We're also going to look at who we're facing, because although it is Nordsjaelland in the final, it almost wasn't. Let me show you why. If we show you their game in the second leg, they were 2-0 down late on. Having won the first leg 3-0, they get away with it against Silkeborg. So it should be Nordsjaelland in the final. We'll be back in a minute for confirmation. And there it is. Very gratuitous, by the way, of John Arne Riise to admit they didn't deserve anything. Very hard to do that after conceding a late winner. But we are going to be facing Nordsjaelland in the final. And that means after seeing a game against them today, we're going to get back-to-back ones against them next time. Again, it's a midweek before the season ends. So frustrating that it's not the showpiece event. But we will be playing a complete reserve side against Copenhagen. And in Nordsjaelland in the Cup, before what I suspect will be a decisive game against them in the League 2. Who's going to come out on top? Can we get into Europe and win our first big domestic cup trophy with Viborg? If you want to find out and you did enjoy this episode, please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. We've got a double header tomorrow with a new experiment and with our top 3 episode at 6 PM before a massive save-defining moment with Hemel on Monday. And in this one, could be just as big on Tuesday. It's going to be a big few days on the channel. I hope you'll come and join me for all the videos. In the meantime, all the key links are up in the eye above or description down below. And the top 3 playlist is above my head now. So please do give it a try if you haven't already. And I'll see you back here on Tuesday for the Danish Cup final and a chance to get to Europe with Viborg.